It's not easy finding healthy snacks to munch on when you get that craving for a salty bite. Those bagged veggie snacks at your grocery store are typically packed with additives, and baby carrots just aren't going to cut it forever. That's where kale chips come in. We're going to learn how to turn a bunch of kale into crispy snacks, so move over potatoes and make room for these crispy oven roasted kale chips. I'm Nick Zen from Walk to Eat, where we help you simplify healthy living so that you can be the best version of yourself. If you just want to eat and make healthy food without all the hassle of complicated diets, then consider subscribing to the channel. You probably don't think of kale as a crispy, salty snack, but by baking in the oven for about 10 minutes, you'll get just that. The best part is that it's way healthier than your traditional potato chips or Fritos or whatever your favorite salty snacks are that you find bagged at the grocery store. These are just kale, no additives, no preservatives, or other ingredients you can't pronounce. The one thing you do have to watch out for is overcooking the kale. These thin leaves can go from green to brown to burnt pretty quickly. At right around the 8-minute mark, start checking for doneness and keep a close eye on them. When done, the kale should be crispy but not quite brown. So let's learn how to make these crispy snacks. Separate kale leaves from the stems and place leaves on a baking sheet. Reserve stems for another use. If you're not sure how to use up kale stems, then check out my video on how to blanch kale. I'll link to it above. You can fit about one bunch of kale on a baking sheet. It's okay if there's some overlap of the leaves, but don't pile too high. For large bunches, toss the kale halfway through cooking. Then roughly tear or chop leaves into about bite-sized pieces. Toss with 1 tablespoon olive oil and a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. Use your hands to toss and coat the kale. Really get in there to make sure the leaves are coated evenly. Then place into an oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Set the timer for 8 minutes and start checking the kale once it goes off. The kale should be crispy but not quite brown. This will take up to 12 minutes. If your kale bunch was large, you may need to even cook it longer. Pile the kale leaves onto a plate or eat right off the pan. The choice is yours. So, as you can see, these kale chips have some nice crisp to them. And the saltiness makes them really feel kind of less healthier than they are, which I think is a good thing. They should stay crispy for about 2 to 3 days in an airtight container, but I doubt they'll last that long. They're just super easy to eat, kind of addictive, and I think everyone will like them. You can use the same method for cooking other hearty greens like Swiss chard, collard greens, and all the different types of kale that are out there. And don't forget, if you like this video and want to learn more about healthy eating and healthy cooking in the least complicated way, then consider subscribing. Until next time.